Let's take it to the streets. Show you the land of the free like you never seen. Talking about undiscovered America. Undiscovered America. Undiscovered America. Oh! Undiscovered America.
From the earth-shaking roar of steam engines to the smooth glide of modern trains, America's railroads are a gateway to unique travel adventures. The saga of the Iron Horse begins in the 1820s with the Tom Thumb on the famed B&O, Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, marking the dawn of a travel revolution. As the rails stretched across the nation, they became conduits connecting people and places via conveyance so comparatively fast and comfortable, it seemed almost like magic. In the early 20th century, the grandeur of rail travel peaked. Majestic stations became landmarks. Luxury trains promised elegance on the move. While planes and cars eventually introduced greater speed and freedom, the charm of the railways remained intact, offering a unique blend of relaxation, scenic views, and a touch of nostalgia. Today, that legacy is alive and well. From Amtrak's expansive routes to scenic tourist railways, there's an opportunity for you to experience our nation's vast landscapes from a train window. Join us as we journey through history and discover the romance and allure of rail travel that still captures our hearts today. Let's rediscover America, one track at a time. As the engine hums and the tracks click rhythmically beneath, there is no journey quite like that of Amtrak's iconic Empire Builder. From the heart of the Midwest in Chicago to the coastal beauty of Seattle, this route is a celebration of the vast landscapes that define the U.S. It's a journey that stretches 2,200 miles, passes through 8 states, and it's surprising how quickly the urban landscape of Chicago evaporates as it enters the vast plains of the Midwest, where the horizon stretches endlessly. This is where passengers get a visceral sense of this expansive heartland. From there, the farmlands of Minnesota, North Dakota lull you into a peaceful reverie, but don't get too comfy, because the transition to the Rockies is both dramatic and breathtaking. In Montana, the Rocky Mountains rise majestically. This stretch is perhaps one of the most scenic parts of the entire journey. Snow-capped peaks, deep valleys, and the occasional sighting of wildlife make this segment a photographer's dream. The Empire Builder also offers a glimpse into history. The route is named in honor of James Hill, the man responsible for the Great Northern Railway and often called the Empire Builder himself. His vision helped connect the vast expanses of the American West. Now, when we eventually reach the Pacific Northwest, the Cascade Range with its lush forests and stunning vistas provides a verdant landscape that's a stark contrast to the plains that we left behind. And before you know it, the skyline of Seattle begins to take shape in the distance. Known for its rich coffee culture, tech innovations, and the iconic Space Needle, also the home to Fraser Crane, Seattle is the perfect culmination of this journey. So if you've ever dreamed of seeing the breadth of the American landscape from a unique vantage point, or if you just want to sit back and relax, let the landscape roll by, this is the ride to take. The Empire Builder's journey is just one captivating tale in America's rich railroad history. But across the nation, there are countless tracks to be traveled. Up next, we'll hop aboard some of the most memorable train experiences that await visitors coast to coast. So now, let's transport ourselves to a time when a distant chug of a steam engine and the shrill of its whistle echoed through the mountains. Today, we're heading to Colorado's San Juan Mountains for a journey that is both a visual delight and a little nod to a bygone era. Our starting place, Durango, is a rough and tumble historic town that evokes memories of the Wild West. Its streets whisper tales of gold miners, pioneers, fortunes won and lost, and old-time saloons. But the real star here, the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. Established in the 1880s, this railroad is initially conceived to haul silver and gold from the San Juan Mountains. But soon, its creator realized it offered something even more precious and more abundant: breathtaking views that you cannot find anywhere else. This path runs through dense forests of aspen and pine. Their leaves shimmering gold and green, especially in the fall. Eventually, the landscape opens up to reveal deep canyons carved by the Animas River, which alongside the track, its waters gleam under the sun. The views become even more spectacular during the steep ascent to the rugged San Juan Mountains. The track clings to the cliff's edge, and as you look out, it's almost as if you're flying off the track. It's a vantage point that leaves many speechless. Halfway through, you come to Silverton, a town that seems frozen in time. Here, Victorian-era buildings and quaint houses and cafes, antique shops, etc. They brim with artifacts from the gold rush days. But it's not just the views that make this journey special. It's the other folks you meet along the ride, families, couples, solo travelers, sharing stories and enjoying the mesmerizing landscape. After all, isn't that what travel is all about? Experiencing beauty, thrills, and death-defying surprises with total strangers? Sure it is, just ask Disney. But out here, there's no better way to do that than on the tracks of the Durango in Silverton. You know, America's railways are filled with tales of grit, vision, and pure determination. And the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad is another great example of this enduring legacy. Originated in the 1880s, this railroad wasn't just about transport. It was the lifeblood of communities, serving miners, loggers, and settlers who ventured into the Rockies in search of, well, their dreams. As you board in Chama, New Mexico, the details immediately convey a deeper sense of history. Original wooden seats, hand-operated windows, and conductors adorned in period attire. Every detail is a nod to the past. The journey to Antonito, Colorado offers more than just views. Over the hum of the engine's rhythmic chugging, passengers are treated to the interactive lessons about the train's heritage and given an intimate glimpse into the railroad's golden era. The vast Rockies outside and the onboard presentations make the Cumbres and Toltec experience both educational and exhilarating. When adventure calls, history responds. The Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad doesn't just take you across states, but across time, painting a vivid picture of America's indomitable spirit, as entertaining as it is educational. But don't worry, there's no test at the end. Our expedition on the rails is still on track. Stay with us. We have more captivating railroad tales and others just around the bend after this short break.
I discovered America.
Welcome back to Undiscovered America. You know, a lot of us have seen the Grand Canyon. It is a marvel. It's truly one of the treasures of the world. But we're going to talk with Sam Langman today. His company, Grand Canyon Railway, shows us an all-new perspective on one of the greatest wonders of all time. Sam, how are you?
Well, good afternoon. Thanks for having us on. It's a beautiful day here in northern Arizona at Grand Canyon Railway.
So listen, the Grand Canyon has been around for thousands of years. How long has that train been operating out there? It looks awesome.
Yeah, Grand Canyon Railway's history is pretty fascinating. It's existed since the late 1800s when this route was originally used to haul copper ore to and from the region, and now it hauls people.
And the train itself, I mean, it started off as a steam, is it still a steam locomotive today? Talk to me about how historical it is.
So in 1901, the Santa Fe Railway completed the line to the South Rim, and in 1904, they had the Fred Harvey Company manage the hotels and restaurants at the South Rim.
Right.
So currently, we have a very distinctive locomotive called the 4960, which we lovingly call the French Fry Express. And this locomotive is actually redesigned in 2009 to run on recycled waste vegetable oil. So that's kind of one of our flagship locomotives, but typically we operate diesel electric locomotives.
So that's awesome. So it's called the French Fry Express because it runs on oil, on cooking oil?
That's correct. Yeah, from our restaurants that we operate in Williams, Arizona, leftover vegetable oil is used to power the train.
And the South Rim hotels, the original ownership group, you're talking about El Tovar and whatnot?
That's correct. And so our parent company, Grand Canyon Railway's parent company, is Xanterra Travel Collection, which is a concessionaire that operates all of the hotels located at the South Rim, as well as many other national parks. The distinctive one, of course, is the El Tovar Hotel, but
Right.
We also have the Bright Angel
Been
Bar.
there, love it, it's amazing. But the thing I haven't been on is on the railway. So this is a day-long trip, I understand. Talk us through, what is someone going to expect when they commit to taking the day and going with you on the railway?
That's right. So it's a full day experience. When you're taking Grand Canyon Railway, you're really getting a northern Arizona Wild West experience. On board, we have a variety of classes of service that are available. There's, of course, the entry-level Pullman class, moving up through first class and all the way up to our luxury parlor cars. On board each of them, our guests are well taken care of. Of course, there are passenger service attendants that share history about the region and stories. But we also have kind of more elaborate offerings for those that are at our luxury classes of service. So there are alcoholic beverages on board, as well as roaming musicians.
That sounds like a day very, very well put together, particularly to see something as spectacular. What are the views like? I mean, is it one of those where you're hugging the cliff and you look over and there's 1,000-foot drop? I mean, is it for the faint-hearted?
So in this case, actually, the views are very digestible. It's one you can enjoy as you travel along. You start off in the Kaibab Forest near Williams. So there's Ponderosa,
Right.
Pinyon Pines, and then you move up through open plains of near Valley, Arizona, for those familiar. And then as you approach Grand Canyon National Park, you go into another forest, the Coconino National Forest, which again is just filled with a series of slot canyons. So it's a very exciting ride, very dynamic. And what's better than ending at one of our natural wonders of the world?
So it sounds like there's a piece of history thrown in. You have cuisine, you have culture. Do the trains ever get pulled over by bandits with guns, or do you ever come up to someone tied onto the tracks?
There's a chance that coming back into Williams, you might encounter a bandit or two. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, it sounds like a day well spent in one of the wonders of the world and a true treasure for America at the Grand Canyon. Sam, thanks for being here on Undiscovered America today.
Thank you much.
The luxury Pullman sleeping car was introduced in the late 19th century, transforming rail travel into an upscale experience. Next stop, another chapter from our railroad legacy. All aboard the Alaska Railroad's Coastal Classic, a journey that epitomizes the phrase, "It ain't about the destination, it's the journey that really counts." From the moment you leave Anchorage, Alaska's largest urban center, the transformation of the landscape is swift and striking. As the urban backdrop recedes, the rugged wilderness of the last frontier takes center stage. First, the tracks snake along the Turn Again Arm, a body of water with dramatic tidal variations that can sometimes even reveal boar tides, which is when the tide changes with one big wave. Here, the waters reflect blue skies above, and if you're fortunate, you might spot a beluga whale gracefully swimming or Dall sheep navigating the steep, rocky cliffs. As the train ventures further, the Chugach Mountains rise majestically, their snow-capped peak a testament to the vastness of Alaska's wilderness. This mountain range, one of the most beautiful and extensive in the world, showcases nature's artistry with its ever-changing colors, textures, and moods. Then, the glaciers. Massive, ancient, and awe-inspiring, these rivers of ice seem almost out of place in the verdant surroundings. Yet, they stand as silent reminders of the Ice Age and the power of nature to sculpt that land. The sight of the shimmering blue ice against the backdrop of verdant forests and rugged mountains is one you'll remember for a lifetime. As the journey continues, the Harding Ice Field comes into view. Spanning over 300 square miles, it feeds nearly 40 glaciers and stands as a frosty titan in a land of other giants. Resurrection Bay greets travelers with its deep blue waters, a fitting conclusion to a journey that's been nothing short of mesmerizing. This bay is not only a haven for marine life, but also serves as a gateway to Kenai Fords National Park, another treasure trove of totally natural wonders. By the journey's end, as the town of Seward comes into view, passengers are left with a profound sense of wonder. The Alaska Railroad's Coastal Classic carries you through a world of breathtaking beauty, offering a panoramic showcase of Alaska's diverse landscapes and various ecosystems. You ever heard of the Golden Spike? Well, in 1869, it symbolically connected the east to the west, completing the first transcontinental railroad in the United States. But hold on, there's a lot more track for us to cover. Like winding through Utah's majestic Provo Canyon, the Heber Valley Railroad offers a ride you will not forget. And if you don't believe us, just Google this bad boy and have a look at the reviews. Folks go absolutely crazy, giving it some of the best reviews out there. The views alone are worth the ticket. Provo Canyon is breathtaking, said Tom D. from Pensacola. A magical family experience, gushed Brian from Santa Barbara. My kids are still talking about it, and they hate everything, said Jean, a mother of three, kind of spoiled sounding youngsters. But seriously, this experience pleases folks of all ages. And then there's Greg, a train enthusiast from Texas, who commented, "I've been on a million train rides in my life, but these are truly top notch." Millions? Really, Greg? Come on. Those looking for a bit of nostalgia, Heber Valley Railroad delivers. Susan, a grandmother from Seattle, fondly recalled, "It took me back to my younger days. The old school charm of the train, the friendly conductors, the way the whole experience is curated, it's like stepping back in time." Paints a beautifully quaint picture. And if you're wondering about onboard amenities, just ask Rachel, a blogger from New York. "I wasn't expecting gourmet treats on a train, but they outdid themselves. Delicious bites paired with those canyon views, pure bliss." But my fave was Samuel, a retiree and ostensibly a man of very few words. "It's simply delightful. So enchanting, I stayed awake the whole time." So there you have it. But don't take their words for it. Try the Heber Valley Railroad for yourself, and then be sure to tell us and the world what you think.
Undiscovered America.
Welcome back to Undiscovered America. Now we're going to go out to California, to wine country. We experience vintage trains and some pretty nice vintage wines, both on the Napa Valley wine train. And today we're talking with the general manager, Nathan Davis. Nathan, looks like you are on the Napa Valley wine train, right?
I am, David. Thank you for coming on board with us.
That's awesome to have us here. So tell us, what is the Napa Valley wine train? I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but just give us an overview of what people expect when they they climb aboard the Napa Valley wine train.
Yeah, fabulous question. You know, the Napa Valley wine train is an iconic Napa Valley experience. It's the original form of luxury transportation into Napa, started in 1864. We're hit 160 years next year. And today we do a variety of different experiences featuring great food and great wine, as everybody would expect from Napa Valley.
So if someone goes there, is this a day-long trip? Is it hours long? Are there things to choose from? How much time should I allot for the experience?
We have a variety of different experiences, but consider it to be two trains that operate daily through the valley. One is 6 hours and the other is 3 hours.
And you go from point A to point B, then turn around, or you just switch ends of the rails? How does this work? Am I going to see something different on one side of the train than I see on the other, or should I switch?
We have a couple experiences where you get to move around inside of the car. So you get to sit on one side of the train car to enjoy the view to the east. And then on the way back, you move to the other side to enjoy the view out to the west. But for the most part, the trains are intimate enough that you're going to be able to just take all of the sights and sounds of the valley in throughout that 3 hour or 6 hour journey. But yes, we have one track that we operate on. The train goes up 18 miles. We stop. We do a runaround to set the locomotive on the south side. And then we pull the train back on the same portion of track.
So it looks like a really beautiful setting. I understand you've gone through great lengths to keep the vintage feel of the train. Can you talk us through that setting?
Yeah, you know what? We're sitting right now in a 1915 Pullman train car that's been artfully restored by our own team. And this car features one of the 6 hour experiences, which is 3 wine tasting stops, 4-course meal, and finishes with dancing at the end. And after all of the wine, everybody dances. It's a great experience. But all of the train cars have their own unique personality and flair based upon the experience that car plays host to.
Right. So this was originally just a form of public transportation that has been restored and kind of repositioned as an experience for visitors to the destination, right?
That's correct. In 1989, it was September 16th was the first run of the official Napa Valley wine train.
So tell me about
35
tasting on the
years ago.
rails. What is that? I mean, is it an annual thing? What is that?
Tasting on the Rails is one of our newest experiences that we launched in May this year, and it features 7 courses with 7 wines included in your ticket price in a 3 hour lunch. Imagine 7 courses on a moving train in a 3 hour lunch. We kind of think of ourselves as crazy for trying to take these projects on.
That sounds like a pretty nice afternoon for me. So you go on the train, you're having beautiful food, you're having vintage wines, you're trying a lot of things, and then there's dancing. It sounds like that's a That's quite a trip. I mean, you're tasting a lot of different wines. It sounds like you kind of really have to steel up for that experience, or is it just a total relaxation?
It's totally relaxation, honestly. Like I think of it as like the perfect blend of active and downtime, where you get to spend real quality, nostalgic moment, time building opportunities with the person you're with, and then at the same time be able to have some entertainment, meet some other people, hear their stories. And so it's that perfect amount of like engaged time with the person you're with, but time with a lot of other things to do at the same. And so it's a very rich experience.
So Nathan, give us one little insider tip here. We're called Undiscovered America. Tell us the secret of something undiscovered about the Napa Valley Wine Train.
To me, it's all about the heart of the team that we have on board. We don't have servers, we have stewards. They're caring for the experience of our guests in a way that just doesn't happen in hospitality today. And it creates memories that will last a lifetime. The way that the stories unfold, the knowledge is shared. People come away with more than just a meal on a train when they conclude their journey.
Nathan, it sounds like you've got a great mixture of history, of experiential, of culinary and wine, and some beautiful vistas at the same time. I look forward to trying that sometime. Listen, thanks for being with us today on Undiscovered America.
David, thank you. Thanks to everybody for watching.
Fun fact, at its height, the U.S. railroad system boasted over 250,000 miles of track. That's enough to circle the Earth 10 times if train track floated on water, but it can't. So let's move on anyway. In the heart of North Carolina, go Heels, sorry, little shout out to my alma mater, where these mist-covered peaks stretch as far as the eye can see, this is where you can embark upon a journey that is both a step back in time and a voyage into nature. It's the Great Smoky Mountains Railroad. But before you even begin your trek, the town of Bryson City welcomes you with open arms. A small town with a big heart, it's the perfect starting or ending point for your railroad adventure. When the journey starts, the locomotive begins its rhythmic chug and you're immediately surrounded by the majestic beauty of the Great Smoky Mountains. Peaks and valleys, gorges and waterfalls, the vistas from the train are a constantly changing panorama. Inside, the vintage charm of the carriages and the friendliness of the staff ensure a journey as memorable as the landscape is outside. The scene is so powerful that online reviewers tend to wax poetic. Lena, for instance, felt a deep connection to the landscape and then some. The mountains, the legends, and even the mist seemed to whisper tales of old to me, she recounted. All right, a little hippy-dippy, but I'll take it. But seriously, it seems Bryson City itself is as much of the experience as the train trip. Online reviewers gush about spending a cozy evening in one of the town's bed and breakfasts or taking a live music performance in a local venue. The place pulsates with a unique blend of history, culture, and natural beauty. So if you're yearning for a journey that's as much about the destination as it is about the ride, then Bryson City and the Great Smoky Mountain National Railroad beckon. Here, memories are waiting to be made, both on the tracks and off. Just watch your beer intake and you'll be fine. You know, in the 1930s, streamliners were the celebrities of the railroad world. With their aerodynamic designs, they were a symbol of both speed and modernity. Stay with us, our journey continues. We always try to venture beyond the obvious, sometimes breathtaking or incredibly moving, sometimes kitschy, but always fun and never predictable. These rail journeys reflect that spirit, merging scenic beauty and onboard fun with a deep-rooted history. And with every turn and twist, America's railroads promise more tales and treasures. We will meet again on another episode soon of Undiscovered America TV.